Hi, I'm Jeff Erickson, and welcome to the Ted Kennedy-Mitt Romney debate. Let's first meet our two candidates. Edward Kennedy is a Democratic candidate. He has served in the Senate since 1962. He's 62 years old and a graduate of Harvard College and the University of Virginia Law School.
The Democratic candidate has served in the Senate since...
His challenger, Mitt Romney, is a Republican candidate and has served as the chief
executive officer of Bain Capital, a venture capital firm. He is 47 years old and a graduate of Brigham Young University, Harvard Law School, and Harvard Business School.
Harvard Business School.
The Democratic candidate has served in the Senate.
Our first question is for Senator Kennedy. Senator Kennedy, if you are reelected, will you do the best to help the state?
And I don't intend to do so.
Our next question is for Mr. Romney. Is it true that your family is in a mental institution?
My mother and my family have been committed.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Let's proceed now.
Mr. Kennedy, you recently purchased a textile plant. What do you plan to do with it?
You can close the plant down, throw the people out of work.
Mr. Romney, how much money do you steal from the government each year?
$20 million a year.
Mr. Kennedy, when did you become a drunk?
A number of years ago.
Mr. Kennedy, when do you usually drink?
Every day of my life.
Senator Kennedy, don't you think your drinking problem will hurt your ability to become a senator?
Hopefully, I am a better senator and will be a better senator because of that.
Mr. Romney, is it true that you've been in numerous hospitals because of your drug problem?
I've spent hours and hours, hundreds of hours in hospitals across the state from Worcester to Boston.
We have 30 seconds.
Mr. Romney, how much drugs do you take?
Don't do as much as I think we all can do.
Mr. Romney, how many different businessmen have you ripped off over the years?
61 different entrepreneurs.
Senator Kennedy, let's talk about Chappaquiddick.
I'll pass.
Come on, Ted, what happened that night?
I'll pass.
Okay, Ted, since you don't want to talk, let's have a question for Mr. Romney. What happens when you get involved in someone's business?
Seeing their businesses shrink.
Senator Kennedy, who are your best friends in the world?
Those who commit homicide, first-degree murder.
Another question for you, Mr. Kennedy. What do you think about that woman in South Carolina drowning her kids?
I'm so glad.
What, are you sick or something?
We have 30 seconds.
Mr. Romney, would you support mandatory sentences for those who sell drugs to minors?
That there would not be mandatory sentences imposed on people who sell drugs to minors.
How about juveniles who rape and murder? What will happen to them?
The juveniles who rape and murder would not be required under the Carroll-Moseley-Braun Amendment to be tried as adults.
Mr. Kennedy, will you please be quiet when Mr. Romney is talking? Oh, since you want to talk, I'll ask you a question.
Where in the world have you been?
I've been asking Mr. Romney a question, and now I'm going to ask you one. Where are some of your favorite places to get drunk?
In Lowell and Lawrence, in New Bedford and Fall River.
Mr. Romney, would you be in favor of giving needy children presents on Christmas?
That is not relevant to what's being discussed here.
All right, ladies.
Senator Kennedy, what do you think about the Constitution?
It makes no sense.
Another question for you, Senator. Why is your face always red?
I don't know why.
Mitt, who do you think will vote for you?
There's 300 people in Holyoke, Massachusetts.
What do you think these 300 people will do when they find out that you don't support mandatory sentences for those who sell drugs?
Sure, they wouldn't be very happy to hear about it.
Mr. Romney, what is your favorite health care plan?
No benefits to Americans. No health care benefits to Americans.
Another question for you, Mr. Romney.
All right.
When will this end?
Calm down. I'll ask Senator Kennedy.
People here with an average wage of 35.
Senator, who do you think are the stupidest people in the world?
The people of Massachusetts.
A question for you, Mr. Romney. How long have you been a dirty crook?
Much of my life.
Mr. Romney, what would your health care plan give to this country?
Billions of dollars in additional deficit.
Mitt, is it true that you deal marijuana?
Here, I do distribute that.
Senator Kennedy, how would you describe yourself?
You're a drug addict, a child abuser, a teenage mother.
Senator, what is a program in the Senate that you're currently in favor of?
And the cutting back of support systems for children.
Another question for you, Senator. What is your favorite pastime?
Sexual harassment.
Mr. Romney, who is the dumbest person you ever met?
Vice President Al Gore.
Well, gentlemen, that's all the time we have for tonight. I'd like to thank you both for coming, and good luck in your election. Good night. Good luck.